Last week was VCon, this week is AREC and Lead. We're going to be talking about our biggest takeaways from AREC and Lead, two big conferences on the Gold Coast. Before we jump in, and don't mind the random location, I am in between moving homes. I have a request to make, and that is if you enjoy these episodes, if you have gotten something out of the past 4.5 years of Foxy TV, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. A lot of you who watch the videos each week aren't subscribed, so please hit that subscribe button. It really does help us get in front of new audiences and make us want to make more videos and better videos. Okay, on to this week's Foxy TV, and that is episode 112 of Foxy TV. On Sunday, Jake, Phoebe, Cassie and Fletcher went down to the Gold Coast in sunny Queensland, down to AREC, the Australian Real Estate Conference. I wasn't there on the Sunday, Monday, but I did go to the Lead Conference, which was also down on the Gold Coast on the Tuesday, which Jake and Phoebe also attended. I've got footage from the Tuesday, so I'll put some footage of that over the top. Let's jump into Jake and Phoebe's takeaways from the last few days.
The couple of main things for me, at least, one of them was that what got us here might not get us to the next thing, and that the market is different, and that just doing what we've always done won't necessarily get us the results that we're looking for. So we need to be innovating as leaders. We need to be thinking about what changes we want to make, things that we need to test, which is another thing. We've got to be testing and trying things. One of them is specifically from, probably more from the Lead conference and the leadership part of it, which is as a leader being, the energy that you want to see in the team, and you as a leader, what you do, how you interact with people within the business in particular, I guess is what I'm talking about. That kind of dictates the culture, and or at least influences the culture, influences how people show up. For me, who is generally more introverted and happy to be kind of on the outer and let other people do it, I need to remind myself sometimes that as a leader I do have an impact on how the team interacts and the energy in the team, and that's something I have to be aware of.
So I think there was a real theme, I think, to both of the conferences, but particularly in AREC, about authenticity. Reese Witherspoon put it a perfect way. So don't strive for perfection, strive to be authentic. And I don't think that could resonate better with me. I don't think we've done anything that would possibly push it away from being authentic. However, as putting ourselves out as thought leaders and really helping to put us out, we've sort of gotten busy in the business, and we really need to get back out and being us and putting us on camera, putting our thoughts out there. That component also more as a something to implement out of the Lead conference. I've seen a lot of those presenters at Lead conference. However, Julie, who was property manager, went to Disneyland, part of their training, leadership training.
Tour, yeah.
And Disneyland had they did their Disney leadership stuff, and they did a day about how they run Disney and things that they've implemented to ensure awesome team culture there. And something that I really liked, and I know you did too, was that your customers don't know your organisation chart. They don't know if you're at the bottom. They don't know if you're at the top. You need to treat them the same. A customer shouldn't be able to tell if they're being treated by talking to a manager or if they are talking to a cleaner. You treat them the same. And that, for me, is something that's implementable as far as making sure everyone feels empowered, that they have the same level of responsibility when it comes to our clients. Tom Ferry was fantastic. Had a heap of scripts that I really, really liked, the email things that he would be able to send out. We will definitely have a think about that. Leadership team that were there, we had to head off early on Monday, but they got a lot out of Ned Brockman, being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yep.
Also, I think a theme of the conference, having those courageous conversations.
And I'm going to add one more, which we kind of mentioned as well before, but the AI side of things, the technology, the fact that where AI isn't necessarily coming, it's going to keep coming and keep getting better, but there are elements of it that are already here. Everyone's heard of ChatGPT. There's different bits of software within our industry that I can see coming already that we need to be aware of. And while we don't need to learn everything there is to know, we do need to be aware of it and try and stay ahead of that curve so that we're ready for when things do start changing.
Oh yeah, eat the frog. So that was something I definitely took out of Reese Witherspoon's presentation from an old, story where there was a person whose job was if your job was to eat a frog every day, what time would you eat the frog? You just get it out of the way every single morning. Just eat the frog. Just eat the frog. So that is in relation to difficult conversations. So not just staff-based conversations where you need to give difficult feedback, have those engaging conversations with staff where you're giving them the candorous feedback. Also clients, if you've got overdue bills, if you've got clients who are difficult, unhappy with outcomes, if you've got agents who are being particularly tricky to work in with their expectations, those types of things, don't put those conversations off. Eat the frog. Have them in the morning.
I think it's probably more an awareness of what we've got ourselves in for, and to some degree, there's a lot of things we're going to have to think about, a lot of smaller details that go into running something like that. Also, and this probably isn't a new thing, but coming fresh out of a conference like that, a reminder that the speakers that are up there really kind of set the tone for the whole thing. How people walk out and how they feel about it. You can have a lot of great people in the room, and you can have a great location, but if the content and the people speaking aren't great, that's probably what a lot of people remember. So I would say it's going to be very important for us to make sure that for the audience that we're putting the conference on for, that we have the right people who are able to deliver the right messages and be both entertaining and educational.
I would also say opportunity for networking, which is what we were talking about with Cody yesterday. The opportunity in those breaks, make sure those breaks aren't just like a 10, 5-minute recess. Don't run over time. Make sure you give the ability to have a talk and reflect on those conversations. I know at AREC now, Tom Panos has gone about an implementation day, so given the ability to talk about it, reflect, and then implement.
So there you have it, AREC and Lead conferences, our takeaways. Thanks so much for watching episode 112. We'll be back next week. See you then.